Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he is a rising star in the legal world. You'll meet Mackey Culbertson next on the Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So I am a proud member of EO Dallas, that stands for Entrepreneurs Organization, and we love to bring sponsors on our show, and a longtime sponsor is FBFK Law. Joining us now, Mackey Culbertson. He's one of the rising stars over there. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Well, I want people to know your heart. How did this all start for you? Because you didn't grow up wanting to be a lawyer.
Yeah, no, that's right. I didn't really even know a lawyer until I got to law school. So it all started when my grandpa approached me and said, hey, I think you'd make a good attorney. And at first I laughed at him because it was not on my radar at all. And then after thinking about it a little bit and, he approached me again and said, hey, I'd help you pay for it. And when that opportunity comes, you basically get locked into going to law school. Sure. And, with my undergrad being in entrepreneurship, I always knew I wanted to work with business owners and entrepreneurs. And, being at FBFK has really given me that opportunity. So not only do I work with entrepreneurs on a daily basis, our firm's grown significantly over the last 10 years, which is kind of when I started there. And so I get, to watch the firm grow in an entrepreneurial manner and then also work with entrepreneurs.
I was super impressed at how large the firm has become. Let's go ahead and pull the website up, and as we scroll down the website, you guys pretty much practice in all areas of the law. I don't know if you practice criminal law, but everything transactional, intellectual property, and you guys cover so many different areas, don't you?
Yeah, we do. So we're a full-service business law firm. We actually do have a criminal attorney with us. Yeah, wow. Steve Tolan out of our Austin office.
Nice.
Does a lot of white collar criminal law, any kind of governmental agency investigation. So really, really pride ourselves on being, I hate to use the term one-stop shop, but for a business owner or entrepreneur, we try and serve every need that they could have. Yeah.
And that's so convenient to have it under one roof, because people don't like to just have one person for this service, one person for this service. Pretty soon you're managing your vendors, and that's no fun. Just to be able to say, my buddy down the hall could handle this.
Right.
So talk about the idea on why people migrate to your firm.
Yeah, I think people migrate to our firm for exactly that. We're a very collaborative team. A lot of us come from either lateraled over from larger firms, or in many cases, they were with a smaller firm, or the firm itself merged into FBFK. So we've got a wide mix of expertise, experience levels, and so when we come together on an issue, you're getting a lot of different experiences and perspectives, and we deliver that on a small to mid-sized firm platform. So we find ourselves competing against some of the largest firms in the nation on a 60 to 75 attorney platform where we can deliver real value.
That's really cool. And you got a major honor a few months ago. Let's go ahead and put this on the screen. So a Super Lawyers 2024 Texas Rising Stars. What does that feel like?
Yeah, so that was a really exciting honor. Our team really does a good job at promoting the folks on the team and, making us stand out, because as attorneys, you spend so much time and energy focused on serving your clients. I spend a lot of time serving the other members of my team. And so you often kind of get so focused in your day-to-day, you don't think, what did I accomplish, right? And so when our team puts, our attorneys in a position to be recognized, it's really special, right? And I think they do a really good job of that.
Okay, so you were telling me before the show about a client. You don't have to name the client, but it was a success story. Would you share that?
Yeah. No, I can't name the client. But, we were talking about ideal clients, and one particular scenario really stands out where, we helped them initially get started, then they started rapidly growing by acquisition. So we did probably 5 or 6 acquisitions for them over a 3 or 4 year period. Then they went to market, a private equity firm got interested, and so we helped them, sell their business to a private equity firm. And they maintained some ownership and a rollover, and they're still involved in the business. And now the private equity firm is, putting more capital into the platform and helping them acquire add-ons. So we're doing that work for them too, which is a compliment in and of itself that the private equity firm would allow us to continue representing that company instead of the larger national firm that the private equity firm's used to working with, right? So that was a compliment. And then eventually that company has designs to go to market in the future, and we'll get that work, right? So it's a great relationship for us where we're getting a lot of work doing both buy side and sell side work. So many of our clients, and they're great clients, but if owner operator grows it and then sells it, that's kind of a one and done relationship, which is great. That's an emotional thing for a seller that we love being there and supporting them through that. But where it really gets exciting is when we can do multiple transactions with the same folks, right? And I think that's the ultimate compliment too.
And that relationship could last for decades, couldn't it?
Yeah. No, I think this one's coming up on, 15, 20 years. It predates me. I've been with the firm for 10 years, yeah.
That's awesome. So in every profession, there's a W, there's a win. What's a win for you?
Closings.
Yeah.
When you work on a transaction for hopefully 60 to 90 days, sometimes it's longer. But when that gets to a closing, that's the Super Bowl, right? Like, so you wake up, you're excited. You're probably going on very, very little sleep. But when you get to those closings, that's where, all the hard work pays off.
That's very cool. Okay, so in the final minute or so, why don't you look at the camera on the left and talk to the person who might want to kick the tires on your firm? What's the process? Do they call you? They have a sit down? What happens?
Yeah, so we work off referrals and introductions. So depending on where that comes from, we'll either have a lunch or a coffee or a phone call and figure out what your legal needs may or may not be, right? We love telling people, hey, that may be something you do in the future, but maybe not right now. And I think a lot of our client relationships, we're telling people not to spend money with us. But I think we also encourage people to go talk to other law firms because that's, I think, where we really shine. A lot of the other law firms that are in our space are either smaller and don't have the expertise, or they're much larger and have much higher billing rates, right? So we can provide a unique perspective on your legal needs and your legal budget too.
Outstanding. You've been an amazing guest. We're going to end with the website, which is, of course, FBFK.law, the great Mackey Culbertson. Thanks for coming on the show.
You bet.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.